Having a winning attitude in life is not easy. It requires a lot of work and dedication. However, it is worth the effort because it will help you in many ways. This video will give some tips on how to have a winning attitude in life, such as having an open mind, sharing your knowledge with others, learning from mistakes, and always being grateful for what you have. You'll never win if you go into a battle with your eyes closed and expect things to happen the way you want them to. This can happen when you are faced with something new or challenging and are not expecting the outcome of it. You also have to be willing to learn from your mistakes. One of the most important things I've learned in life is to be grateful for what I have. Without a doubt, there are many things that we take for granted, and sometimes they go unnoticed until they're gone. Just because you don't see something doesn't mean it's not there or it doesn't exist anymore. You want me on the squad so badly, so how are you going to convince me to join? If you want to win, I'm the one to play with. If you're okay with coming in second, find someone else. I remember thinking to myself, man, can I ever reach the level where I can play like Messi or Sadio Mane? As I saw them perform incredible feats on the soccer field. Every effort was made to improve one's soccer skills. When you adopt such an outlook, everything in the entire universe becomes a resource you can use to hone your skills. So, the universe is delivering you exactly the information you're seeking because you know what you want. Many men have commented on how hard you worked. What was it truly like for you? How long did you manage to maintain your self-control? Like, every single day for the past 20 years. The practice of analyzing one's abilities on a daily basis was exhausting. The capacity to dribble, for instance. That's right. You'll need to figure out how to build up your leg strength before you can touch a ball or perform other tasks that require deft footwork. Quickness, that said, I wasn't lightning fast. I wasn't very slow, though, that's right, I needed to rely heavily on my abilities. Because of this, I had to rely on perspectives rather than straight lines. Much more time was required for me to learn the game. Even so, I found that entertaining. And I recall studying the game from whenever I first started watching it. I simply don't think it ever altered. Emotionally, it helps me to be able to put myself in a state where I can focus on anything other than my sport when practicing, training, or playing. I change gears and go into a different mode. The light finally went on in my head, prepping to see a movie. The only way to become a character is to put yourself in their shoes. After you depart, though, things change drastically, but while I'm locked up, you can't get near me or bother me in any way. Just how did you fortify your mind and heart to the point that this no longer causes you distress? Actually, you should have a look at the facts of the matter. For me, it's not like that, you know. You just have to get over yourself. This has nothing to do with you, guy. Well, of course you're ashamed, you shouldn't take yourself so seriously. Sure enough, that's the way to get there, forget about it. That feeling you get when you've shot 5 balls and are self-conscious about it and embarrassed to be seen in public. You do realize that you need to get over yourself. What follows is also acceptable. So, what led to those gaffes? Only about 35 games were played during my senior year of high school. There was a week's worth of downtime in between each activity. My legs just weren't up to the grueling schedule required in the soccer league. As you can see from the photo, everyone's attempts were successful. Each and every one of my attempts was right on target yet fell short, right? My body needs to bulk up. In order to train effectively, I had to alter my routine. I've adjusted my weightlifting routine to accommodate all games in the season. I want to get in better shape now so that when the playoffs roll around, my legs will be stronger and the ball will actually travel to its destination. The absence of my hands is the logical explanation for my free kicks, I tell myself. As for me, I figure that next year they'll show up anyhow. As far as I am concerned, it settled it. Have you ever glanced at a list of names and thought, these 3 people are as insane as I am? I remember dealing with what I called Goat Mountain back then. I met with the best soccer players in the league, so you see, I would engage in conversation with them. Why did you do that? Describe the events that transpired. In particular, Messi has assumed the role of my older brother. Since my early days in the league, he's been like a big brother to me. In order to learn the ropes, I sought out several veterans. I adopted their methodology, down to the last detail and obsessiveness. Those who played because they were passionate about the game but didn't want to make it their life's work. True, it's all up to personal preference. You can't just sit around and do nothing since you have responsibilities to your family and other commitments. For the sake of the game, you should not abdicate your actual responsibilities. In any case, I was taking a look at that, thinking, man, this is going to be fun. What happened to our friendship when you entered the league with the goal of becoming the greatest, or one of the greatest? Oh, it really takes a hit. The answer is yes, it suffers. Yes, you realized what was happening, and that was fine with you. Friends and family members, among those who care about you, undoubtedly already know this. You're given freedom to be yourself, and then, when you all get back together, you start up just where you left off. But there's no mistaking that the time in between is gone forever, hence, the time and effort required to maintain those long-term partnerships. I see a lot of gamers going on vacation with their close friends or even just going on vacation for the sake of going on vacation. And I'm not one of those people, it's not anything I've ever done. However, that route may have been avoided. Why didn't you do that? I didn't want to look back on my life and think, I wish I had done more, once I retired. That's not what I'm looking for, personally, I'm not interested in it at all. Lots of people are spending their hard-earned cash to see you perform. Perform. And perform. Get in shape, since it's your job, it is expected of you that you will be able to maintain that level of performance day after day. As a competitor, I too am not avoiding challenges, to be more specific, God, I'm sore. My back hurts. In today's game, we'll face this player and that player. In 2000, we played the best team of the league while their star was ripping up the league, and this very thing occurred. There was a serious problem with my back. But in what way does that impression resemble what? My back was severely spasming, so Salson is sitting out today's game versus Liverpool and El Hadj Diouf. Still, onlookers would give me the side eye and say things like, oh, he's avoiding El Hadj Diouf. Pardon me? The way I see it, that's not the case at all, and so there I would be on the layup line thinking, okay, there are a lot of days when you can relax and recover. This is not one of those days, no need to worry about my back, I'm feeling okay right now. I expect him to come in and visit me soon. Just how do you settle on a course of action when you're looking at a substantial expenditure you need to make? Who do you call, exactly? It's recommended that you do your own investigation. And wait at least this long before contacting a professional for help. Specifically, do you have a method that you always use? To me, it's a simple matter of. So, the question is, do you have a grasp of what goes on in this industry? Can you contribute to the company in any way? How difficult would it be to get started in that field? Then there are the business people who really start the companies. What the firm is all about. How long do you think their culture will last? Do you put faith in these leaders? On the other hand, are they just obsessive types? And as a result, have they fostered an obsession-driven society? Those are the only criteria I usually consider. That's a major deal, and I'm not sure if you guys picked up on that. With the same dogged resolve, how does today's work schedule shape up for you? What you're looking at is a huge deal in and of itself. This is different from the books in that I am not writing every word myself. No, I'm not in charge of animation for the movies. Now that we have brought in all of these obsessives, my duty is to make sure that they are pushing themselves to perform the best possible job that they can. Constantly evaluating oneself and setting new goals is essential. The project for which you reply, okay, I can do that, is not the one we want. I'm not sure whether I can animate that kind of project. Sorry, but I can't figure out how to put that tale on paper. Incompetence on my part. I have no idea how to accomplish it. Those are the types of things we seek because they foster the kind of inquisitiveness that ultimately leads to accomplishments you never thought possible. Consequently, I am currently serving as studio manager. You're down 2-0 to Arsenal, but you're still in striking distance of making the playoffs. When you're all set to make a shot, and then bang. Yeah, your Achilles occurs, you know precisely what's going on, right? Afterward, he calmly sank the free kick, and you left the stage, saying, yeah, and went straight to the operating room. I walked into the locker area where the trainer works, and there were my kids, staring at me and wondering what I was doing. Dad will be okay, don't worry. Having said that, everything will be okay. You shouldn't worry, everything is going to turn out well. To be an effective parent, you need to lead by example. Well, this right here is yet another stumbling block. The difficulty I'm facing will not define me, it won't incapacitate me at all, it won't be the reason I quit playing my favorite sport. I'm leaving on my own terms, that's when it was decided, you know what? Okay, I'm going to do it. Thank you for watching. Have a winning attitude in life and don't forget to subscribe to my channel, please.